saw some detour signs. You're lost.
I didn't see any.
I saw them when you and Mom were trying to fold the map.
Audrey, when they close the road, they put up big signs, like this one. Ah!
Oh, hey everybody, welcome. I hope your summer is going as swimmingly as mine is in this sweltering heat. Was that a lot of noise right up near the mic? Is that too much noise? Do you remember going on a family trip when you were young, even if it was just camping? You and the family just going out and having an attempt at a good time. Going on holiday, or as normal people like to call it, going on vacation. Well, especially when it involves actually going on a trip, it's a pretty popular concept. It's an escape from the daily grind of work and bills. You take the family out, you have a good time together, you enjoy each other's company, or at least that's the plan. I mean, who doesn't love vacations?
Guys, I don't want to have to pull this car around, but I swear to God, I'm going to do it if you don't start behaving.
Oh. Yeah, there's that. Family frustration has been a factor in almost every vacation I can remember. Granted, I guess to an extent, you're taking a bunch of people who already see way too much of each other at home, and then you're taking away the free time they have at school or at work. Now they're just around each other all the time. And that's not even mentioning the travel portion of the trip, especially if you have to road trip it to your destination. You take like two little kids, maybe a pupper, a mom and a dad, you cram them in a tin can, and you send them down the road for 14 hours straight. And don't forget to make sure you sync up your bladder so you minimize pee breaks. You think that sounds like a good time to anyone? Of course not. I mean, maybe a masochist, but you'd really have to love torture to want to put yourself through that. But plenty of people just can't afford to pay for their whole family to fly or take a train across multiple states. Now, whether a long cramped drive or an empty wallet was at all the cause of this, I don't know. But a family recently went to the second most magical place on Earth, Disneyland. Disney World is the first most magical place on Earth. Fight me if you disagree. Either way, Disney parks are known to be kind of like a magical experience. I mean, do you know how many marriages and proposals take place at a Disney park every year? I mean, I don't either because Disney doesn't release that information, but they have a whole department dedicated to making proposals and marriages happen. And if you look up any of the testimonies that people have about working at Disney and how many weddings and proposals they have to deal with on a daily basis, it's pretty insane, provided that they're telling the truth. But in a place with so much love and magic and beauty, you would never imagine the amount of domestic violence that has happened at these parks. From what I've read, all these people are in the same group. They came as a group because they're all members of the same family in some way, shape, or form. So from what we can see in the video, this family vacation consisted of 2 men, 3 or 4 women, 1 in a mobility scooter, and a few children. There was supposedly a disagreement before they entered the park that kind of continued on their way in. So at some point after they get into the park, it all boils over and turns into this massive issue. Now when you hear a fight broke out at Disneyland, where do you imagine that happening? You don't imagine something like the Animal Kingdom or anything else. You don't imagine Toontown as the location for a fight, do you? You know, the place where quite possibly the most kids would be. Probably by far the most inappropriate place in the park for a group of adults to start fist fighting each other. So this video starts off with the man in red arguing with this woman, and she spits in his face. He then channels his inner high school cheerleader and just starts slapping her in the face repeatedly, which leads to the most bizarre square up or standoff that I've ever seen, with this weird prancing motion he's doing while trying to look intimidating, I guess. The next few seconds is the man in white and the man in red trying to look like they can fight. However, they both seem to just kind of miss each other multiple times with really sloppy looking punches, and then they slap women some more. At least I think that's what's happening. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I don't quite understand how these two guys square up, and then instead of either one of them really getting hit, they both slapped other women instead. Now, at quite a few points in the video, the fighting has been broken up or slowed down a little, and then the man in red instigates the fight again. Almost every time it's broken up, he then, rather than going and attacking the man again, goes after another woman. Each time, he ends up getting more and more vicious. Now, at one point in the video, because the guy in red is trying to fight everybody starts trying to stop him from doing things. Meanwhile, 2 of the women start fighting now, resulting in the man in red's mother falling over. The man in red comes back again and assaults the same woman again, only to then find out that the other woman bumped into his mother and she fell down. Thinking it was intentional, he then assaulted her, punching her straight in the face and then brutally attacking her. Now, pretty much no one handled this situation correctly. The woman shouldn't have spat in the guy's face, but in no way does her spitting in his face justify him to do what he did in any way. Matter of fact, as violent as he gets in this video, I would assume he has to have something wrong upstairs. A screw loose, a crack in the eggshell, a few crayons short of a box. He brutally attacks 2 women in this video, and the one other man that's involved, he barely swings at. At one point in the video, you can even hear the guy bragging about how he's ready to go to jail. I'm ready to go to jail tonight.
Go to jail tonight.
Yes, ma'am. We're Disneyland.
Go to jail tonight. I'm ready to go to jail tonight.
So he knows what he's doing is wrong, and he just continues to do it in full view of everyone. There are kids all over the place watching this horrible example of a grown man brutally attacking these people in full view. I don't care what happened leading up to this. There is nothing that she could have said to him that justified what he did. I mean, look, if it's that serious, you leave the park, right? You don't stay in the park. You leave, or you go off by yourself for a little while, cool down while everybody else enjoys their time. Instead, he stands there and physically assaults 2 women multiple times in full view of everybody. I mean, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but it's just that frustrating. It's disgraceful, and I hope he gets at least 5 years. I say 5 years only because they didn't want to press charges. They didn't even want to report that it happened. They tried to cover the whole thing up, pretend it never happened. They told police nothing happened. The man probably deserves to be locked in a psych ward, but given that nobody wanted to press any charges or anything, hopefully he gets at least 5 years. The woman in the white shirt shouldn't have spat in the guy's face, and definitely shouldn't have pushed her children away and just not looked where they were going. Be free, my children. Go. Be free.
I can show you the world.
According to the reports I read, the family was escorted from the park by the park security and the police were called, but when the police got there, the whole family said nothing happened, and there was no evidence presented to the police, so they had nothing to go on, and they let the family go. Then this video got uploaded to social media, it went viral, and the police reopened the investigation because there's very clear proof that something did happen. Hey, Captain, maybe we should look into the situation again now that there's this video here. Maybe we should ask for the security footage of the event. Maybe if there was some witnesses at the packed theme park during peak season. I have no idea why the police wouldn't have asked the security guards for this information or to see the security footage or whatever. I have no idea in what realm these guys were thinking they were working. I have no idea why these cops would not have asked for that information when they were there. Or maybe the guards were just being lazy and said, nah, we don't have it. I don't know. You would think Disney would have to keep track of stuff like this, wouldn't you? Although, honestly, this is spur-of-the-moment thought. It just occurred to me. I wonder if, much like this situation recently with Spider-Man, where the kid's family was turned down having Spider-Man put on the kid's tombstone because they want to separate Spider-Man from death. You don't want to think Disney and think, they let a child have Spider-Man on his tombstone. That represents death. No, let's not do that. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe this is common practice for Disney, and they constantly sweep things like this under the rug so that people don't think, at least in their minds, Disney's a terrible place because people fight there and get in arguments there and commit domestic abuse there. I don't know why companies think that's the way things work. I mean, I don't know anyone that saw that video and said, well, I'm never going to a Disney place again. They support this. I don't know why companies and corporations always tend to think in such a bizarre manner. Oh, we let a child have a Spider-Man on his tombstone, and now everyone's going to think of death when they think of Spider-Man. What? They actually said that they don't want their characters to be associated with death. Hey, stupid, 3 months ago you released a movie where multiple characters died on screen, including Robert Downey Jr., a national treasure. Has the dramatic taking the glasses off thing been overdone yet in this video? Anyway, so like I said, nobody in the situation handled themselves properly. And by that I mean the police and the security guards as well. Not one aspect of this seems to have been done properly, aside from maybe the cameraman. So yeah, I guess he wins. He's the only one that did the right thing in the situation. Can't remember his name right now, but congratulations, guy. Good job. You did a great job being a good person in a place where you would think more people would be considerate of their environment. Just think of all the disgusting secrets that they're hiding in Disney. Okay, so it's been almost 3 months since this situation happened, and almost 3 months since I recorded the initial footage for this. Here's a little update based on this Deadline article that we linked in the description. Apparently, when park security kicked them out of the park, they handed them off to the police, but I guess they didn't give them enough information, and that's why they were never arrested. According to the article, the guy in the red shirt actually tried to run over security with his car at some point. It is unbelievable that nothing ever happened with this until the video went viral, because there should have been security footage and there was plenty of eyewitness accounts. As long as I'm reading this right, according to this article, the man in red is facing 9 misdemeanor charges and 5 felony charges. These are for, of course, attacking the other adults, but also endangering his child and 3 others. He's looking at a potential 7 years as of the writing of the article. Real quick before I bring this video to a close, I want to thank my patrons, Hobo Viking and Pantsless Gamers. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It does help me keep motivated, regardless of whether my upload schedule reflects that or not. In addition to that, I'm streaming a lot more on Twitch lately. Sometimes we're just chatting, sometimes we're playing Minecraft or Call of Duty or whatever. Links to the Discord and the Twitch should be in the description below. Anyway, I'm going to get back to playing with this beach ball, so thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.